Where is she?
She's on your back, John. She's having a good time. She's basking.
Max.
Oh god. She doesn't like this. Oh, she's upset.
You don't?
Nope, she's coming back up. She's coming up. She's coming up.
Max. Come on.
No, she's all on your... She's like, I got you on the floor now.
Go, 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 go.
She's like, nope. It's like stupid human. She's like, I'm allergic.
Come on.
She's like, I'm coming up. I'm coming up. She's like, I like your shirt.
You don't want to run around?
It's really funny because it looks like you're doing all these suggestive poses. Oh, there she is.
Alright. Thank you. Okay, had to suck it in for a second. Today, guys, we're gonna be talking about our reptiles. I didn't do a reptile room tour yet. Don't have a lot of reptiles, but I thought, you know, you've seen a glimpse of every one of them, and I haven't gotten to doing in-depth videos for each. So let's introduce everyone. It will kind of also serve as an introduction to this channel. And, you know, we'll talk about them briefly, any notable things, and yeah, we'll go from there. So first, we're going to talk about Maxine Pegasus. She starred in one video so far, my problem child video. Maxine's name also comes from Yu-Gi-Oh! If you didn't know. She is the creator of Duel Monsters. She was originally Maximilian Pegasus, but was changed because she's a female apparently. But yeah, you know, she's just your typical beardy, you know, doing sexy positions left and right. She doesn't eat her greens, so they're kind of just withering away back there. I have to change it out for today. She also gets her, you know, usual dubia roaches, which I have 2 colonies of. She loves those. She'll sometimes get other, you know, insects, but mostly dubias. They're gut loaded and everything, so they're all good for her. She has a little pool back there, too, for water. She rarely uses it. I have to spray her in the face, which you can see in the video that I mentioned about the problem child. But, you know, I'd offer it just in case. I would like to exchange that out for a dripper eventually. She has a great personality, though. That's the one thing I like about her. Every morning when I come in the reptile room, she'll slide, not climb, slide down this, and then run around the outside until I open it up, and then she will jump right down and just start running across the room. So she really likes her exercise, and, you know, very sassy. Next up, we got Tortellini. Tortellini is a Russian tortoise, and the newest addition to our family. We got him probably 3-4 months ago, I'm guessing, right before Christmas. He came about the size, not sure how old he is, to be honest, but he's very unique. He is a great eater, which I love. Whenever we put in food, he goes ahead and he eats it. Not a big fan of kale. He loves his endives and mustard greens. That's his probably favorite, besides the tortoise diet. He's in love with the tortoise diet. Other than that, his enclosure, I built his hide. It's just like 2 cinder blocks and then wood, kind of Gorilla Glue to the top. We have this like scuffed beam in the middle. This is probably the enclosure that needs the most work. But we have a scuffed beam, and then his basking lamp right there. It's about 100 degrees, which is optimal for Russians. And then we kind of just like paste it up here. There's also UVB in the back. He doesn't use the side of the enclosure as much. That's where his water is. I have to probably try to start incentivizing him a little bit more to go over there. I also tried to put different like rock things around because they like different levels of height and substrate and stuff, so I thought that would add to it. Alright guys, this is one of my Ackie monitors. This is Asus. Asus is the more active one. Dell is a little bit lazier, so you know, we're gonna get some entertainment out of this. He's a little annoying to handle at times. He'll come over in a minute though. He always says hi whenever I open it up. Here he comes right now. He always like ferociously like runs over like, oh my god, it's open. That's how all of my reptiles are. They're like, let me get out of here, which I don't know why. Oh, okay. Anyway, as he makes his way over here, you can see this is an enclosure. I've done a lot of videos on my 2 Ackies. There's some of my more popular videos. I I did one where I was putting wood, just collected outside in their enclosures. He's gonna jump. Nice enclosure. They like a lot of climbing space. Especially Asus. Asus makes use of every spot. He actually likes to just kind of chill right here. They have food and water. The water bowl definitely needs to be changed. Unlike Dell, Asus likes to make a huge dirt mess in his water bowl, so that usually makes it dry up a lot faster. They eat mostly dubia roaches. I'll throw a pinky in once a week. But yeah, this is as big as they'll probably get. They're probably the smallest species of monitor, at least in the pet trade, which makes them really good if you don't have like the ability to put them outdoors or something, since monitors require a lot of space. And a lot of their length is mostly tail too. You can see that's probably even longer than his body area. This is Dell. She's my other Ackie monitor. She's a little bit more skittish, so she might be a little bit annoying to get out, but I will try. She is the chunkier of the two, and she loves her food, and she loves to be lazy. You could smack against the enclosure side if she's sleeping, and she will not wake up. She's, like, dead asleep half the time. But I will try to get her out. Like I said, she is a chunkmeister. She's a lot thicker than Asus, but she's a little bit lazier, too, so I think that's why. She is also missing a finger. I don't know if you can get that in there. So, and I want to explain this, and I mentioned this in my care guide for Ackie monitors. You always want to have a standby enclosure if you try to house them together. Some people have done it successfully, some people haven't, and I am definitely one who hasn't. I tried having both Asus and Dell cohabitated, and that ended with Dell losing one of her fingers. But she is good now. She doesn't even notice she doesn't have an extra finger or her fifth finger. And she can climb, she can do anything, so she's healthy, she's good, but just, you know, always remember that any reptile, you always, if you try to cohabit, probably want some backup enclosure to put them in. Alright guys, next is my Crested Gecko, Destin. Destin was a purchase from Petco. I know not the best place to buy a lizard, but we would see him week after week when we got our dog food, since we could only get it there at the time. So we ended up getting him. He is my only gecko, and he kind of is very different than the rest of my reptiles. I'm not really a big gecko person, but he needs the most work done as well. His enclosure is missing a lot, and he needs a lot more space, and I want to make it bioactive. He is missing his tail. There was a mishap when he escaped from his enclosure, and in the process of getting him back, he dropped his tail. I tried really hard to not get him to, because I knew they would drop it really quickly, but he did, and he's healed up, and he's fine now. He does good. He doesn't like to be touched. I leave him to his own space, and I just, you know, work around him, but I like having him. He's fun to see at 2 a.m. That's the only time I really see him. Alright guys, this is our final reptile we have. This is Frappuccino. He is our juvenile Argentine black and white Tegu. He is Chacoan, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Basically what that means is he's has like a regional diversity. He's might be a little bit larger in size than a normal Argentine black and white Tegu. And he might be a little bit more white, I believe. But, you know, that's just a possibility. It's not guaranteed. He's also male, which you could probably infer from me referring to him as he. Hello. He's very friendly. He was a little standoffish when I first got him this past summer. He actually just came out of brumation. I thought he was going to be a little sassy when he came out, but seems like he remembers who I am and is just very curious. He only gets a little psyched out when he doesn't see you coming or anything. But other than that, he really doesn't mind any touching and stuff. He still has yet to go through puberty, which is puberty for Tegus, which has him get a little sassy, so I'm trying to get ready for that. He is also probably going to be growing very fast very soon, since he went down into brumation basically as soon as I got him in August, September. He hasn't really had a lot of time to grow much, so he has a lot of growing to do, His brother, which I know the owner who has his brother, is huge, a lot bigger than him, so I'm expecting him to explode. They're very smart and very fun to interact with, so if you ever want a large lizard and know how to care for one, I definitely recommend them. So that concludes my reptile room tour. All the reptiles you've seen in this video are all the reptiles I own. If you're curious about their care or just their general well-being, definitely subscribe, as I'll be posting videos updating, you know, what's going on with them, and care guides just in general. I have a couple care guides already set up, so you can go take a look at that. If you like this video specifically, definitely leave a like and a comment, and join this community. It's just starting up, and I'm happy to be talking to you guys, and it's very encouraging. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.